Where the Action Is made its debut 1 year ago with top recording stars performing Where the Fun Is. Come along for a real good time next here on ABC. Dark Shadows has been a Dan Curtis production. Dark Shadows, number 13-66. VTR date 6/29/66. Air date 7/13/66. Take one.
My name is Victoria Winters. From the moment I arrived at Collinwood, I've been surrounded by tension. And now the band has grown tighter, until the great dark house seems alive with ghosts of a past I never knew. Ghosts that draw tight fingers around the present.
Roger, I was hoping to have a chance to see you. How have you been?
How long has he been here?
Only a little while. I thought it would be wise if we talked things over.
We have a lot of catching up to do. 10 years' worth.
Why have you come here, Burke?
You know, you and your sister, you both ask the same questions. Why don't you tell her, Mrs. Stoddard?
Burke said he came back to visit Collinsport. No other reason.
Do you believe that?
Oh, Roger, now...
I may have grown 10 years older, Burke, but I haven't quite become a fool.
Roger, please at least listen to him.
All right. I'll listen. Well, I'm waiting.
You're so grim about this, Roger. I hardly know where to begin.
Well, why don't you begin with the fact that you think I'm responsible for your going to prison?
Now, that was 10 years ago. I want to try to forget about that.
Would you? Or would you like me to think that you've forgotten it?
What do you think, Mrs. Stoddard?
We're all in a room together and we're talking. That's all I care about at the moment.
Fair enough. Roger, you and I were once good friends. I'd like to try to erase the past.
And so that's why you've come back to Collinsport?
No, not really. I wanted to see the town that I spent more than 20 years of my life in. And I suppose I wanted to show off a little. I wasn't very much when I left here, you know.
And now you've made it.
Well, I'm comfortable, at least. Roger, 10 years ago, a man was killed. And I went to prison.
Because you were guilty.
Well, that was the jury's decision.
There was evidence against you, Burke. You know that.
Yes. Yes, there was evidence. Roger's testimony. Anyway, I went to prison. What with good behavior and the like. I was released after 5 years. I traveled, worked, saw the world, made some money. And pretty soon, what happened 10 years ago didn't seem important anymore.
And so you came back just to say hello, visit, and leave.
That's about it.
Then why have you been asking people questions about us? Joe Haskell and my son's governess, Miss Winters.
Oh, Roger, now come off.
You and Miss Winters arrived on the same train. And yesterday afternoon, you met in the hotel restaurant.
Yes, we did.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Victoria Winters is a charming young lady. And I didn't want to have coffee by myself. Is my only motive. Believe me, Roger, There's nothing more to it than that.
Matthew? Matthew, are you in here? It's Vicki Winters, Matthew. I'd like to talk to you.
What do you want?
I knocked it. The door was unlocked and
This is my house, miss, and I don't like people prowling around.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to barge in, but I've got to talk to you.
I've got to fix my supper.
Please, it won't take long.
Miss Winters, any minute the big house may call and want something. If I don't get my supper now, I may never get it.
Well, what if I help? I'm pretty handy around the kitchen.
I don't need your help. I don't need anybody's help. If you want to talk, you sit down there and talk. But be quick about it. Why are you so interested in the city of Bangor?
Well, mostly I wanted to know if anyone in the family had any connection with anyone in Bangor.
You better tell me something right now, miss. Does Mrs. Stoddard know you're here?
Yes. Yes, she does.
Yeah? Well, the family did have some connection in Bangor. There was a trial.
What trial?
Young Devlin, he was tried for manslaughter, sent away, and a good thing, too. Look, miss, I talked to you once before about making trouble. Now, that trial is old business, and the best thing to do is to forget all about it. I'm going to make some tea. You want some?
Yes, thank you.
Miss Winters, I don't know much about you, but I don't like people snooping around.
I'm only trying to find out about my own life.
What's that got to do with the Devlin trial?
Nothing, I suppose.
Then stop asking questions about it.
Matthew, I was raised in an orphanage. I don't know anything about myself.
What's that got to do with Bangor?
Well, money was sent for me. Every month since I was 2 years old. $50 in cash, in an envelope. No note, just the money, Matthew. And the postmark on the envelopes was Bangor, Maine.
You like your tea strong?
It doesn't matter. Matthew, when Mrs. Stoddard offered me this job, I knew that Collinsport was only 50 miles from Bangor. I thought that while I was up here, I might be able to find something.
You got something against Mrs. Stoddard. You ain't gonna get nothing from me.
I don't have anything against anybody. I only want to find out about myself, who I am, and why that money was sent. You've been here for a long time. I thought you might be able to help me.
The only connection the family had with Bangor was the Devlin trial.
It's a simple matter of letting bygones be bygones, Roger, and forgetting about the trial. I have.
It's cold in this house. Liz, would you mind phoning Matthew and asking him to bring up some firewood?
I think the firewood can wait.
Well, then, be a hostess and fix some tea for our guest.
I really don't think I can wait. Thank you.
Oh, after 10 years, Burke, I'm sure you can spare us a few more minutes. Liz, would you mind?
I'll see what I can do about the wood.
Now, the truth, Burke. What brought you back here?
I've told you the truth.
You seem to be forgetting that I know you pretty well. I know you as a person who remembers every hurt and every insult. Now, people change in 10 years, but you haven't changed that much.
What do you want me to say? That I came up this hill to cut your heart out?
Well, that would be more honest. Because it would make me more honest with you. Let me tell you something, Burke. If you try to do anything, to me, to my family, to any of us, those 5 years you spent in prison will seem like the best time you ever had. I'm not joking about it.
You've become a brave man, Roger. I congratulate you. But you know, the funny thing is, you don't need the bravery.
I just want you to know where I stand.
Okay. Now I know. How's your wife?
That's not your affair.
How can you say that? Don't forget, she and I were once very fond of each other.
Yes, I know.
If I remember correctly, you two were married the day after I was convicted. Am I right?
You know you are.
A kind of a victory celebration in a way.
All
wasn't
right,
it?
Burke.
Okay. You're absolutely right. Yes, it is past history, and we ought to forget about it. Shall we have one more drink, Roger? For old time's sake? And then I can head back to town. What do you say?
All right.
This is wonderful. Did you make them?
Yep.
You're a very versatile man, Matthew. You take care of the big house, chop wood, fix machinery, and bake muffins.
I also make sure nothing happens to Mrs. Stoddard.
Matthew, how do I get to Bangor from here?
Bus, train, there are timetables in the station wagon, glove compartment. Like a little more tea?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Miss Winters, you'd be wasting your time going to Bangor. Augusta, that'd make more sense.
Where?
Augusta, that's the state capital. Mr. Collins and his wife, they lived there.
I thought they lived here in the house.
Never did, not for one day. Very soon after the trial was over, they got married and they moved to Augusta.
And when did Roger Collins come back here?
Oh, just a short time ago. About a month. Worst thing that ever happened to this house, him coming back.
Why did you leave Augusta and come back here?
This is my home.
But your sister owns the house, doesn't she? And the business, too.
This is still my home.
Roger, do you think she'd be interested in selling?
Which, the house or the business?
Either.
Well, of course not, and you know she wouldn't.
Oh, my goodness, it's getting late. I've really got to get back to town. I won't be able to stay for tea. Tell your sister I'm terribly sorry.
When are you leaving town?
Oh, a day or two, probably. It's great to see you again, Roger. Really, it is. Let's try to forget the past, shall we?
That's up to you.
Fair enough. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Are you heading into town tonight?
No, why?
I want to talk to you about a business matter. Well, it's a little discussion about that.
Involving what?
You know the Blue Whale, don't you? Meet me there in a couple of hours. We'll have a drink, and we'll talk about it, okay?
I'll think it over.
Couple of hours. Say goodbye to your sister. I'll see you in town.
Almost killed, really?
Yep.
How'd it happen?
Well, it was stupid of me, miss. Bad road going down from this hill. Steep, a lot of turns. You've seen it. Well, I had bad brakes, and I just didn't get around to getting them fixed. Went right over the side.
How awful.
I figure what you need if you want to stay up here is strong nerves and good brakes. Hello? Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, I can get some firewood up there right away. No, that's all right. I've finished my supper. I'm just standing here talking to Mrs. Winters. But she said you told her it was all right, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You get out of here.
Well, I didn't really ask Miss
You
Dollar.
lied to me. Now you get out of here.
I didn't think she'd mind it.
If you want to go on snooping around, don't you come near me now. Is that clear?
Oh, hello, Miss Winters.
I couldn't imagine who was in here.
Well, we certainly have a habit of meeting in the odd places, don't we?
Yes?
I was just admiring Roger's car.
I see.
Oh, I found this on the front seat. It's a beautiful model, isn't it? I'm thinking of buying one myself.
Does Mr. Collins know you're in here?
Well, I didn't tell him I was here, no. You don't think he'd mind, do you?
Yes, I think he might.
Well, let's keep it our little secret, shall we?
Mr. Devlin, I might as well tell you that he was very upset about our having coffee together.
Yes, I know. He told me. I can't say I like his choice of upholstery color. Can you?
I really think you should leave.
Little Miss Winters, I'm overwhelmed by your loyalty to a family you hardly know. But you needn't worry about it at all. You see, Roger and I have patched up our little quarrel. Yes, I think I will buy one.
How long has he been gone?
About 15, 20 minutes ago. He asked me to convey his apologies to you. He was full of apologies, wasn't he?
Roger, what do you think?
There's nothing better. I'd like to believe that Burke's attitude was real. Take it at face value. But it was just too easy.
Carolyn said he was leaving for South America in a day or two, on business.
Do you believe that?
I suppose I'm just as skeptical as you are.
He's not a forgiving person, Liz. I know that from a long time back.
But what if he really is leaving town?
I would open a bottle of champagne, toast his good health, and breathe a deep sigh of relief. But until he's on that train, until it's over, I'm going to be very careful.
Maybe it would be best if you just avoided seeing each other again.
He wanted to see me again tonight.
What for?
Some business matter he didn't explain.
Are you going to?
Maybe he does want to forget the past. Maybe he does want to be friends again. But I'll never find out unless I accept his invitation.
Miss Winters, May I speak to you for a minute?
If it's about Matthew, I really didn't think you'd mind if I went to visit him.
Of course not. But Matthew is a lonely man, and in many ways a strange one. He's very loyal to me.
I know.
Matthew can be very gentle, Miss Winters. But if he thinks problems are being created for me, he can be quite violent. I thought I ought to warn you about it.
Mrs. Stoddard,
Yes?
do you know, is Mr. Collins using his car tonight?
Possibly. Why?
Nothing. I was just wondering.